Good day, good way. Picking up from number 64 on the Phoenix Fyre wheel grid. 64, it is you're a lover of balance. But the problem with love and balance is what you're calling balance. If you've only found balance in knowing how to make concessions for things, like I know how to recognize patterns in people, and so I know how to work around it. That's a little bit of a submissive energy to where you've gotten good at tolerating bullshit in others, which means you're probably excellent at tolerating the bullshit within yourself. So be mindful of where you've only found a way to recognize toxicity and traumas and things like that, and you know how to make it work. That's what you hear me call false reciprocity. That is understanding how to make a reflection shine bright. But it's still some components that need to be released. Again, we're dealing with Phoenix energy here. It's time to release some of the shit that keep us, burning. So don't find ways to use your traumatic foundation to bring a balance. Release the traumatic foundation so that you don't even need an account. Get it a balance when there's already some residual energy attached. So for 64, pay attention to 46, pay attention to 6, pay attention to 4, pay attention to 10, and pay attention to 1. But your card, pay attention to 1. Manipulator. And again, this is the alchemist, and that's really what I say after saying. I know how to take what's going on and turn it into what's going to keep me safe. So watch out for where the first person in a course of manipulation is you as a manipulator yourself. Why? Because you don't stand on your magic. Why? Because you don't stand on what's already known. You hear me beat up the word knowledge all the time, but knowledge can be a gift if you're using it with proper awareness. But if you already know something that's going to require you to work, every time you have to show up to put in that work, it was already your choice because you already knew what you was doing. So from 64, we go to 65. Be aware with 65, it is where stillness just really ain't your friend. This is, I have a foundation in manipulation. I have a foundation in manifestation. It resonates only because I forgot to say this. With the exception of probably 2 people, myself included, I can't remember any of y'all numbers. So if you're looking at these readings and you're like, oh, well, he already know this about me, I apologize. I kind of got so much going on in my mind right now with working these grids and life in general, father, grandfather, all that other shit. I don't have time to remember y'all numbers. And I'm not trying to be funny, but there's just a lot of shit going on with this grid, so I don't remember everybody's numbers off the top of my head, and I'm not looking at a list. So I don't know who y'all are, like I said, except for me and, Belle. I know her number because, shit, she in here with me. Everybody else, can't remember off the top of my head. So, 65, don't know who you are, but like I said, if you are one of these, I'm good at manipulating or I'm good at manifesting, and what I've been trying to tell you for the past few years, there is no difference between manipulation and manifestation. It's just the context of the energy. Stop feeling like you need to manipulate shit in the first place. That is some colonizer orchestrator type energy right there, where you always have to make sure that shit is being popped off, which means you're going to always be at work. You're going to always be invested in making sure that everything is fine, which again, like I keep saying, that's not true reciprocity. I should be able to sit down, my foundation, sit still and see what's moving so I can choose whether it is a reflection of what I want to see or whether it is authentically what's really there, or much like I said with 64, or some shit that I can put my hands in and get it to where I want it to be. So 65, don't lie to yourself. Why? Because 65, 6 plus 5 becomes 11, justification. Stop making justifications for shit. So 65, pay attention to 65, of course. 56, 11, 6, 5, 1, and 2. But your card came out the bottom. I'll take it. It came out the bottom. Remember, in the analogy of 65, the only thing that's missing, if you're doing, the countdown, is the 4. You're moving backwards, which is a good thing. We should be moving backwards into wholeness. We should be moving backwards. But if you're being lazy. This is the Emperor card. You're not staying on your throne because you're too busy ruling over everything else going on around you. I said this in one of the earlier readings and one of the lower numbers is if you're too busy trying to make sure that your kingdom is safe by going out and dominating everybody else's kingdom, your kingdom was never safe at all because who's there ruling it? Learn to sit still and learn to honor the higher sense of laziness to where I shouldn't have to do so much work. Get it? Like I told you, 65, you're good at manipulations. Stop feeling like you need to manipulate shit because that's going to be too much investment on your energy. Sit still and find out, see, this is a minute ago too, where you've already developed a system of balance. 4 is balance. You don't need a balance, you need awareness. It's from 65, 66. The master saboteur. Self-sabotage themselves. And again, I don't know who 66 is, but if it resonates, take it. If it don't, you'll be all right. But there is not a being on this planet or in this realm. I'll do that because there's more than this, this planet. There isn't a being that exists in these realms that does not have some form of self-sabotage. There is not a being that does not have some level of separation within themselves. So for 66, when you get good at basically fucking yourself over, but then it's always because of, there's always some excuses on why somebody didn't give you the perfect medium to break that cycle, or it's fine, I'll break that cycle later because this is what's useful for me now. When you still, using those type of deflective thought processes, it really is all you. So 66, sabotage starts at home. Stop sabotaging yourself by stop pulling from your traumas and trying to make sure that the traumas of the past are not the traumas of the future, because then you're already placed in separation. So stay present. What I've been through, it's already known. It's already a part of my energetic process. I don't need to keep resubscribing to it. And I also don't need to watch out for it because it's already in me. I just need to make sure that my choices now do not keep reproducing those cycles. Remember, we're dealing with Phoenix cycles. Setting your soul free from lessons and loops and incarnation and reincarnation and shit like that. So 66, pay attention to the 6. That's a key component. Pay attention to the 12, pay attention to the 1, pay attention to the 2, and pay attention to the 3. But 66, your reading itself, pay attention to the 2, it's fear. And again, like I just got through saying, if I'm too busy trying to watch out for what I've been through and make sure it don't reproduce here, what I don't realize is by watching it, I already energetically subscribe to it. So everywhere I go, it's coming with me. 2, reflection. 2, connection. Fear. I pay attention to things out of the fear of them becoming too much for me, which means that I didn't trust in me being enough for myself. So 66, you need to understand that you are enough and stop buying into fear thoughts and fear mindsets that make you feel like you need this bullshit level of protection out here. Protection is overrated. Protection in this day and age, in this realm, is a homage and omission to somebody's capability of working your energy more than you are capable of keeping your energy still. It is not arrogance and ignorance of that there is not things going on out there, but it is if I am monitoring my energy and staying in my highest vibration and staying in my lane and staying in my awareness and doing things that are only beneficial to me in a reciprocal flowing fashion, then A, that should give me enough time, space, and energy to see when something does come at me with ill intentions. And B, even when something is coming at me with ill intentions, my energy field should be so expansive and so tight. My auric field should be so held together that ain't too much shit that can tear it apart. You get it? That stops all that spiritual maintenance. That stops all that empathy. So 66, if you out here with empathic problems, is what y'all always heard me call sympathetic distractions. Fix your own shit and then you won't be inundated with the shit of others. So 66, stay focused on you. Connect to you more than you are connected to the fear of others. And I don't mean you scared of them, but they're bigger parts of the conditions that could, fuck up your day. Can't nobody fuck up my day unless I fuck my own day up. So I'll do 67 and then I'll stop this video. So 67, again, the foundation and the journey. But if my foundation is what's the cause for my journey, then I need to make sure that my foundation is already free and clear. So this is, and I said this was another number earlier too. You need to make sure that before you make any movements, excuse me, before you make any movements, you need to understand what's going on within you. This may be, a little off right there, but this is like knowing I just ate something that traditionally gives me a stomach ache, eating it and then going out. You already know once you get outside, your stomach's gonna hurt and your ass might have to take a shit somewhere else. Sorry, being nasty. But if you had common sense to know, A, let me not eat that if I have to go out so that I do not fuck myself over, then common sense would have told me, hey, don't eat that. Or B, if I know I'm hungry and that's the only thing I got to eat, then I know I need to sit still until I get out of that condition before I get out there and create that condition in everything I'm going through. You get it? You're going to be out there with the spiritual shits. So 67, stop being with the spiritual shits. 6 + 7, 13. Transmutation, the death card. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself because you're putting yourself in experiences that are going to require alchemy. You're putting yourself into situations that are going to require transmutation. Why? 13, 1 + 3 is 4, because you're always seeking balance. Balance is a bad word, children. Find wholeness, and then there is no need for balance because there is nothing that is pulling you apart. So 67, pay attention to 76, pay attention to 6, pay attention to 7, pay attention to 13, pay attention to 1, pay attention to 3, pay attention to 4. But for you yourself, 67, where your foundations keep your ass moving because you haven't found enough time to sit still and honor your own wholeness by releasing the traumatic functions that might keep your ass moving, fuck around and find out. See, the diversity. The diversity is I'm going to get out here and find myself in a bunch of fucking experiences. Kind of like what I said. See, you eat some shit to give your fucking ass diarrhea. Everywhere you go, you're going to have to use the bathroom. So everywhere you go, you're going to have to energetically dump yourself. Whereas if I stay at home, even if I make myself sick, the only person that I have to be responsible for and to is me. And that's going to be some high level accountability as well. Holy shit, I'm doing this to myself. So let me break my cycle. Holy shit, Phoenix energy. Even when I am the one that is fucking around and finding out that I keep doing the same shit, if I quit entangling my energy into others, I can't blame them. And I now have to take accountability and responsibility for me. So find out who you are, or you're going to find out what you are in all these experiences that you keep giving your time and energy to. So 36, my thoughts will tell me the safest foundation, but if my thoughts don't mean me no good, my thoughts will put me in danger. 67, you have to have enough awareness to know when you're putting yourself in spiritual danger by getting with the spiritual shits. So I'll stop there and I'll come back with 68.